Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Millennial Tavern. And yours truly here, Mr. Dan Spence. And we are playing D&D once more with all four of our mystical and magical friends here tonight.
What up?
So this is great. This will be our last session where we have everyone here apparently because David is going to Italy.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. Italy, then St. Louis.
Italy, then St. Louis.
Wow,
So.
interesting combination.
I wonder if Italy will match up to St. Louis.
I wonder. Yes, I'm looking forward to your scholarly reports on this, wizard.
I got some bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Bullshit weed. All right. Well, some other interesting things have transpired in this last couple sessions. More specifically, last session. Apparently, unfortunately, D'Artagnan missed a lot of very interesting roleplay. But let's go ahead and recap that, everyone. So let's just talk a little bit about what happened during our last session.
Wow, yeah, that was quite a bit. Let's see, how did we
Starting
start off?
with Lady Laza.
Lady Lisa, yes. So she appeared in front of us right in the hotel room as we were all just kind of having a little luncheon. She showed up. I was like, "Hi, how's it going?" You were all like, "Yeah."
Well, David.
Well, not really. I mean, I was just I just let you do your shit.
Yeah, and everyone else was all like, gasp.
Lay gasp.
Yeah. But in a sense,
I
yeah,
guess.
she came back. She brought us the chess piece of our friend, that friend Scorn.
Oh, yeah, the front of it, not even the full.
Yeah, not
just
even full. But hey, something. I
She
guess.
did get something.
She did get something. Just expressed her remorse in a way and just kind of left
The
after.
connection is broken.
Yeah.
I didn't get shit for that deal.
Yeah. No, just
That's pretty much what she said.
pretty much.
She was like, I gave him all the shit, and she didn't do a goddamn thing.
Well, I think she was a little kinder than that.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah.
She's kind of a bitch, though.
I mean, she might have been thinking that. Who knows? Right?
Maybe. But anyways, she left. Didn't really do much, at least to us. So good on that in a sense. We found out the odds of the fights and who I'm going to be fighting in the arena. Someone that I sort of knew in the past.
oh yeah,
That's
right.
Yeah.
You gotta kill him.
Yeah. So that was the trouble there. Having to some inner.
I love some of your nuts.
There's
What's the
two
word
in
I'm
there,
looking
but
for?
they're the same type of.
Conflict?
Yes,
Slightly
conflict.
different
Thank
cook.
you. Some inner conflict there going on. Since I know the poor bastard. Found out the odds. Odds are pretty against
These
me
are
winning,
oven
and then
roasted
the other guy, well, he
roasted.
wins. And yeah, it is what it is.
Like what I think Cynthia said was the 18-year-old kid. So.
Yeah, I had it written down, but I
And you were thinking of doing different ways of false death. Or
yes, and
There's a couple different ways of.
There's a couple ways I can do it. Yep. So we went on that, and then we decided to explore the city a little bit. Just kind of go around town, see what we can see. What's the haps?
Yes.
What's the hip taps?
And what
of
was
town?
the hip hap? You ran into a bard.
Yeah, we ran into a bard. Yes.
Oh, we got inspiration.
After gambling. Gambled first.
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
you
we
did
gambled
gamble,
first.
and you lost money.
Not a lot, realistically.
No.
I won it back on last hand.
Yep. Little bit. Enough.
And
A little bit. Little bit.
You fucked me by changing the rules.
I did not change the rule. I misprinted.
It
the
changed the outcomes. It went from 3 to 1 to 2 to 1. So
It was
then
a revision.
I found the loophole. the first time.
wins, baby.
Miss Input, calm down. Miss Input.
I will make the new version. So when you guys want to play it again, we'll have.
I don't want to play again. I had the loophole. It was great.
But carry on. So you ended up
I won
gambling
a lot of money then.
the bard.
The first time.
Well, now all that money's gone. So we ran into the bard. He was spitting some good bars there. Really
He
good.
was
10 out of
spitting
10.
the bars.
10 out of 10 bard right there. Really
You
good.
sucked.
Like that kid.
Except for the part where I'm like, wait, you're forgetting some parts here in the song.
Yes.
Like, how did the Lord? How did he come to power? How did this start? Beats the fuck out of me. I don't know. If you want, read some fucking books. Why don't you?
Yep.
So we're like, all right, we'll get to that. Fuck you. Anyways, we go to, we were gonna start heading to the library, but then we went to the tailor, a little pompous tailor, if
Yes.
I may add.
Regaldo, the main
Regaldo.
store.
Yes.
Not to be mistaken with Regaldo Maid, which is on the inner part of the city. In the Noble District, it's just Regaldo.
They even do a better job down there. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Should go back to that one. So yeah, lady working there, she was not very nice whatsoever. A little bit classist, if you ask me.
Oh, she was definitely classy. I'll just give that one to you. Yes.
Not lightly
We were
whatsoever.
beneath the entire conversation.
Yep. It was throwing every classist slur at us every chance she could get. So yeah, we left expeditiously. After which, then made our way to the library, where we kind of split up as we were, looking up and down the bookshelves, trying to find out, maybe some hidden lore, some hidden facts that, it's not really, being shared too well in the city.
Because you were looking for stuff about the city's history over the past 50 years, roughly.
Yes.
Because not just the city of Shadowstone, but really just the overall Freelands in general. Just the information seems like it has a couple of very, very distinct missing parts. One of the things you kind of picked up on, right, was some of the songs and everything we're talking about. Oh, then this happened, then the Lord came into power, and then we're here. And it just immediately goes to other stuff. Basically, it was like 2 sentences talking about what would have been a major and massive point in history. And that was something that really struck you as odd. You wanted to research more. I know for Arthur, you wanted to research a little bit more about the outer planes and some more extraterrestrial beings. And then Cassian, over here, you were wanting to go look a little more into different types of magical items, but specifically you end up kind of getting tucked into a little area looking at stuff about the history of Archfays and everything, because you are from the Feywild. There were certain things about this you kind of know, but you're curious what the primary plane, a material plane perspective on this is.
Yep.
So, all right. So after that happened, you kind of you went looking around for a kind of a restricted area. So you were interested in that. You were also interested in a restricted area, Reginald. And what you found something. What did you find?
I found a bookcase.
Found a bookcase.
That swung open.
Using your inspiration.
Yeah, I did.
You're like,
very good inspiration.
There's nothing obvious over here. Inspiration, but they wouldn't make it obvious. And that's when you found something.
Yeah, that's a good inspiration.
We all got inspiration last session.
Inspiration being a spell?
So inspiration is you have a little
spell over
right there.
Okay.
Basically, you can, if you get a nat 1, you want to reroll it, you can use your inspiration.
It basically gives you advantage on anything that you wouldn't have advantage on otherwise.
Is it a one-time roll?
It is, and then you get it again, then it refreshes. So.
He gives it to you.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I do it for role playing, for doing really cool stuff, for playing your character really well, whatever it might be. So. Cool.
Told
All
the
right.
bard to fuck off. That's how I got it.
Seems right.
I don't even remember how I got it.
So going back to you though, you were saying you found something on the bookshelf. So talk to us about that really quick before we go ahead and kick off.
Yeah, I was meddling with the bookshelves a little bit and heard one of them click, and then it started coming outwards. And I looked behind it. Sure as shit, the passageway.
Interesting.
And as you walked in there, you stepped on the pressure plate and then immediately closed behind
It
you.
was just like Scooby-Doo, straight up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry to ask one. I'm gonna.
Scooby-Doo.
Don't mind me just asking one question.
Sure.
Just because D&D's updated, D&D Beyond's updated. Legacy spells versus new spells have the same.
I haven't looked enough into it yet, so
Okay.
just use legacy.
Just
stuff.
figured I'd let you know in case you haven't seen it.
Yeah. I'll think for
Just
it.
do look
I'll check
into
it out.
all of them.
Yeah, I'll check it out. All right. So that ended up happening. Well, we're going to go ahead and resume there. So as the adventuring party that has no name as of right now ends up finding their way out to the library inside the noble district of Shadowstone, each of you are off in your own separate corners of the library, looking at different things, reading different texts. Eventually, you all end up finding something that interested you. You end up finding a passage specifically about Lady Lisa. You end up finding a little something off in the corner just to make it look like you cared about what was going on as you start perusing the library looking for some kind of restricted area. And you end up finding something as well, something kind of tucked away. It seemed like some of the books were saying that, basically the same words, almost the same exact lyrics you saw in the songs. It was basically he just rose to power overnight and everything was better. And just every passage you read was like that in all the history books you were reading. And then you got bored. And immediately after leaving the area you were just in, you found something kind of tucked off in the corner that seemed odd to you. You found that door. Then you stepped in there and the pressure plate went off. The door closed right behind you on that bookshelf. As you look around, do you have dark vision?
Not.
Okay. As you look around, it's completely pitch black in there. But you end up, as the door closes, the light behind you begins to fade. You know that there's kind of a glowing light coming down from what seems like this staircase that seems to go deeper and deeper and deeper down. You see like a tiny little bit of a flickering of a light. I want you to go ahead and roll investigation or perception for me.
I'm saying this shit.
21.
21.
So as you go and start looking down towards the end of this hallway, as it goes deeper and deeper and deeper, you end up seeing what is the faintest bit of a shadow appear on the wall, as it seems like the light at the very base of the staircase is getting covered.
Okay, I immediately want to just like start hugging the opposite side of the wall where like the light is casting like on the other side, so that my shadow won't cast on one side, and just kind of slowly make my way down to see if I can like hear something or someone down there.
All right. As you do that, I want you to go ahead and roll stealth.
24.
Okay. As you're doing that, you're gonna feel like as you're hugging this wall, it feels like it's very wet. It's very, very cold. You're just kind of barely trying to touch it as you start sliding down the staircase. You're actually gonna start noticing you start getting lower and lower. You probably moved about 15 feet down the staircase. That the actual cobblestones themselves are pretty slippery. And as you start going even closer and closer, I want you to roll perception.
10.
Okay. You end up hearing a remark. Can't really hear what it is. But then all of a sudden you hear like a shink, what sounds like a sword being pulled. What do you want to do?
And am I at the base of the stairs right now?
You're not at the base of the stairs. You're probably about halfway down.
Halfway down. Ooh, okay. I'm just gonna stay still and just still be up against the wall. I'm just gonna be looking down, just kind of comparing what I see down there.
Okay. As you're looking down, you're going to end up seeing is what looks like a shadow begins moving and moving and moving, getting larger and larger, almost like it's becoming the entire side of this wall that was once filled with light is now just covered with a shadow. As you immediately see what is like a sword kind of come out of this doorway at the base of the staircase. It looks like a body is beginning to enter inside the staircase area. What do you want to do?
Okay. You know what? Okay. Okay. Oh, wild shape.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bong.
All right. What are you wild shaping into?
Wild shape. Little spider.
Let's fire.
Yep.
Okay.
Little spider. As always.
As you end up immediately just casting wild shape, you're gonna watch as your body basically just starts to shrink down and you just kind of grab onto the wall and basically just latch there.
Mhm.
As you turn out and you start looking over the door with your eyes just taking in all the surrounding areas, it takes a second for you to like understand everything and really start seeing through this vision. You are gonna end up seeing what is an individual walk out, start looking around, wearing complete armor, covered head to toe. What's your roll history?
It's one of the scaled legionnaires.
Damn it. 3.
Oh.
It's so hard for you to make out just what the armor is, but it's different. It's odd. Looks like the individual's kind of standing there off the edge of the staircase, looking around. You're going to end up hearing as he turns around and says, I would have sworn I heard something. We normally hear when it goes off. Huh. My apologies. I must have been hearing things. You'll watch as he essentially resheaths his sword, It starts walking back in the other room as you watch the shadow get smaller and smaller. You are going to start hearing a little bit of chatter coming from inside that room.
Okay. I'm gonna walk towards or skitter towards the chatter.
Okay. So as you end up kind of scattering all the way across and just getting over to the edge of the door, as you get up into the top corner, you begin to peer inside, upside down. You're trying to take in this entire room. You're going to end up seeing what looks like a giant table laid out. On top of the table, you're going to see what it looks like, wines and breads and things like that. And you end up seeing that off in the corner, it looks like there's little shelves. And these shelves seem to have books on them. You end up seeing that there's other shelves next to them that just are covered in different types of scrolls. And it looks like there's individuals and they're just taking these scrolls and tossing them inside bags of holding. As you look around a little bit more, you're going to end up seeing what is that man that you probably saw earlier in the doorway is just standing there watching all this happen. You're going to watch another individual also wearing some kind of a crazed armor configuration. He's actually sitting down at this table and seems to be writing something. This entire room seemed to be lit, not by actual fires themselves, but just by some kind of magical essence inside of these little containers. They just seem to glow and create enough light to really make the room visible. As you end up standing in this little corner of the doorway, you begin kind of crawling your way inside. You're going to end up getting a better look at the armor. Roll history again.
Oh, and now what? Oh.
That's better.
Yeah.
Better.
Making progress! And you're still not able to figure out what any of this is. As you're sitting there in the corner, we're going to go to you.
Okay.
Okay, so you're reading up some stuff on Lady Lisa.
Correct.
Okay, I want you to go ahead and roll investigation.
Nat 20.
Okay.
Let's go.
So-
First one.
So
First
as,
roll of the fucking night.
so as you're reading up on Lady Lisa, one of the things you end up kind of getting out of this is Lady Lisa is obviously one of the reigning archfey of the Feywild. And she doesn't really, there's nothing in there being mentioned as you're reading it, specifically alluding to her being curious or really obtaining artifacts. You do know that she does like kind of power plays, and she's very much one to kind of manipulate situations to her advantage.
Yeah, so when I was looking, because I was interested of why she was meddling with human, like with the material plane, not just with because that intrigued me. Wasn't necessarily specific artifacts.
Yeah. So as you end up kind of reading a little more, something you're going to end up seeing is she hardly ever leaves the Feywild. And that actually is something that you actually kind of in your memory know to be true. She never really does leave the Feywild. She's one of the more reigning ones who just prefers spending all of her time in the Feywild. The fact she's out here is obviously odd, but I mean, I suppose anything's possible, right? But as you start reading a little bit more, you're going to end up seeing that when they talk a little bit about her temperament and everything, it seems even more off-putting to you that she would be out here interacting with mortals. It seems she has a very pretentious feel to her. Whenever she's talking to mortals, she never seems to approach it as if they're equals. No, they're always inferior. And she's always superior. So the fact that she'd be working with mortals, just why? Because she hardly even relies on your species, the Eldrin, to assist her with anything. She believes that you are the only real capable species of working for her. Fulfilling her will. But as you kind of close off this little passage, you end up saying that, again, not much is known about her because she really never leaves the Feywild.
Okay.
And that's what you're going to end up reading.
Okay.
All right, going to you, Arthur.
I'm still looking around.
I know you
for
are,
that
so go ahead and let's roll another
secret
dice.
message.
D20.
D20.
It's raining.
Just a 10.
A 10? Okay. And as you end up looking around a little more, you still kind of glancing down at your book and just kind of looking up, trying to figure things out. Something is going to stand out to you, actually. You're going to end up seeing what is like a little door. And as you look at that door, you're going to see what's kind of a grate going up, and as you kind of look in through the grate, barely illuminated by some of the light, it looks like it actually turns into a little spiraling staircase. It seems to go up somewhere.
Oh, there's a grate blocking it.
It's a grate blocking it.
Do I see a lock on it?
There's a lock on it. Okay. And as this ends up happening, you're actually going to end up hearing some footsteps going behind you. You're going to turn around and see what is an individual Arcanian. Like he found his way into the library. You're actually going to see that he's being led right now by the person who actually runs the library. So, tell me, sorry, D'Artagnan. I believe this is roughly where I left your friend. He's around here somewhere. Just feel free to wander off. Then he's going to immediately just kind of give you a curtsy bow and start heading off.
I say thank you kindly, and I flip him a gold coin.
Oh, so there's no need to do this, but very much appreciated.
Shh.
It's be great for keeping the bookworms out. It's a very
we joked about bookworms last time.
Yay.
yeah. You're going to end up kind of hearing this and hearing some footsteps just kind of walking around. Seems like they're kind of looking for somebody.
I smell them. I don't see them.
I'm gonna step out.
You're going to end up seeing as Arthur just stands out.
Hey.
I'm gonna slowly approach with book still in hand. So you've caught up.
Just about.
Well, what do you reckon's behind that gate back there?
I'd like to go and investigate it.
Okay. You're going to get all the way up to the gate.
Okay.
Okay. No, I'm asking if you are. I'm not. I mean, you could say no, I guess. I'm asking if what you're doing. So.
Okay, I'd like to examine it from where I am right now before I move forward.
Roll investigation.
18.
Okay. So as you end up investigating it from a distance, it looks like it doesn't have any kind of a magical arcane lock to it or anything. It just it feels like it is just locked by some kind of a pretty mundane lock. But it looks like as you're kind of examining the area and kind of following what looks like it could be a staircase behind it up, you're able to see it looks like it kind of goes to a plateau or some kind of an upper maybe loft.
Okay, I'd like to approach closer, and I'd like to see if I can see anything or if I can hear anything.
As you get closer, go ahead and roll perception.
Six. Well, maybe, I don't know.
Actually,
plus
9.
18.
As you get all the way up there, you're going to end up kind of really just trying to listen in. But for some reason, you just keep getting distracted by all the footsteps going on around you. It seems like while those people are trying to be quiet in the library, even you're able to get distracted by the footsteps.
I'd like to go back to Arthur. So, what do you want to do?
I want to know what might be behind there.
Does an artificer not have a key or a lockpick?
Well,
How loud are you guys talking, by the way?
like very hush
challenge.
whisper. This is just
So do like a fake hush like this,
A fake hush. I'm talking so quietly.
so that everyone can hear you. And
well, I don't necessarily have a key per se, but I might be able to fix something similar to.
Okay, let's go for it.
You can walk over,
okay.
and I am actually going to inspect the lock a little bit harder.
It looks like as you're expecting the lock, I'm going to let you roll advantage because you're an artificer. It's going to be investigation.
Don't artificers keep scrap junk with them to make stuff?
We do
Just
actually.
going to sit there and just dump his bag. Like,
Yeah.
all right, time to get to
Junk
it.
He's got a bag of holding. He's got a lot of shit.
That is a.
Don't worry, guys. We have technology.
21.
So as you start kind of investigating this lock a little bit deeper, you're kind of trying to hold it up a little bit more closer to the lights and some of the candles and lanterns. Looks like it's a pretty intricate lock. You end up seeing what looks like a line of about 15 pins going straight back and about another 2 pins off to the side. Looks like this thing is not meant to be open.
Never mind. I'm going to go some. No, there's no way.
Where's everybody else?
Well, we all kind of split up looking for different things. I'm sure one of the others might be around somewhere close.
Okay, now that I think about it, I do need a couple of books to complete my father's library. Pitch on the flip side.
Oh, front.
So as he ends up saying that, he begins to walk off. Both of you are going to end up immediately hearing something. Footsteps. But not just footsteps that you heard moving down the corridor, no. Footsteps seem like they're hitting wood. Almost like they're walking down a staircase.
The one directly in front.
I look at him. I look at Arthur.
See? Wait a ask.
Okay.
So as you end up waiting, you're going to end up seeing if somebody gets to the base of the staircase, and they end up kind of taking this elaborate key and putting it inside there, and it looks like they're kind of wiggling it around. They unlock this configured, open it, walk outside, and they immediately turn around and go to lock it. Where are you guys going?
I'm gonna not close my book. I'm just gonna kind of rest my hand in it. Mike, excuse me.
Yes, what can I do for you?
I was directed somewhere around here for particular subject matter by one of, I can't remember the author's name. Is there anything like that up there?
Particular subject matter, you mean this? I'm afraid I don't understand what you're trying to ask. Can you give me the author's name?
For the life of me, I don't remember the author. I mean, truly though, the subject matter I'm wondering is of illithins and things alike.
Oh, well, if you're interested in the lithids, I could take you off to the section over there.
I heard there was more exclusive material upstairs.
Who told you that?
I was directed here to come and find this information.
Who directed you over here, if I may ask?
Well, not the librarian in front, but somewhere within. Somewhere within.
I think the guy was wearing orange. Okay.
Roll performance.
Both of us or just him?
Just him.
Nat 20.
Let's go.
Fuck
That's
yes.
20.
Did you
Let's
really?
Hell yeah.
Somewhere deep in my heart, I need to go up there. I was told. Praise be out.
I understand. The nature of information in this age is very hard to come by. You're curious of how the world works. I have once been like that too. In my younger years, of course. Have you paid the dues, though?
Not yet. Just hoping for a receptacle up there.
Very well. Come. I shall let you up there for the short window. We are not supposed to do this, and if you even know about what I think you know is up there, you must have your reasons. You know, watch, he goes back over there and puts his key inside this large convoluted lock.
Fucking go. That's
Opens this
crazy.
thing up, and he actually opens the door for you and holds it open so you actually walk upstairs.
No, my God. That's a lot better than what I was gonna do.
Oh my god. Use your words.
Are you
Again,
following
that
us?
Yeah, I am. I'm following him.
Sinclair?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, anything. Okay, so as you end up walking up the stairs, you're going to end up being greeted by what is like this little like loft that seems like it's built in. It looks like the entire thing is almost built like a octagon all the way across. Each wall is just stacked full of books. And as you get over closer to this other section, it looks like it actually has a little railing that seems to overlook the library. But the lights and everything really don't come out of this area too much. It looks like it's really just hidden off where most people wouldn't be able to see it. Even if you were up there looking at them, they wouldn't know. And as you end up getting up there, and it looks like this individual gets up to the top and says, please, peruse what you'd like. Just short, please. They must not leave this area. If you know what it was you were looking for, I don't expect it will take you but too long.
Correct. Thank you.
You'll watch as he kind of just goes off and stands over next to the edge of the balcony. Just kind of starts looking down to the rest of the library and just kind of observing for something. As you're actually going to end up seeing what is, as he's kind of over there looking, somebody ends up like putting a hand out and kind of shaking it. You're going to watch as he just kind of points a finger off, and immediately somebody starts walking across this entire area. Looks like this might be somewhere where they kind of use communication to help people in the library.
Okay. I'm going to immediately start
I do the same.
darting my eyes around, looking for something.
It looks like all the books up there are massive, and all of the books up here look like they are ancient.
Mm.
They do not look like these things are just out for public use.
I want to go look for Arthur.
I found it.
I doubt there's any sort of labeling system up here.
Nope,
or anything.
no labeling system, nothing. Literally just books on shelves. Yeah, 15 minutes.
I go to the biggest book on the biggest shelf and I grab it.
Roll investigation.
20, 30,
30, 20.
Okay. As you end up finding that, you're going to find there was one big book on one big shelf. And you're going to grab that book off. And as you do, you're going to end up saying that this book ends up having what is, at the beginning, a very, very, very complex catalog of words. What languages do you speak?
That's an excellent question. Common, Draconic, Elvish, and Undercommon.
Okay. This isn't written in any language you understand.
Big oof.
Oh shit.
I said, well, try again. I look for the smallest book on the smallest shelf.
Okay. While you're doing that, what do you want to be doing, Arthur?
I'm looking for that important shit.
What kind
Like
of
something that really, just a book that stands out. Because I got that keen eye. You know what
Roll
I'm
a d20.
saying? 10.
Okay. As you're looking through all the shelves, you are going to end up finding something that looks a little bit interesting.
I'm gonna waltz over casually.
Okay.
So as to not look too excited.
Okay. As you end up pulling this book off the shelf, you open it up, and this book is also going to be written in some language that's not common, but what languages do you speak?
Trying to find. Abyssal, Common, Elvish, Infernal.
Okay. And this one actually looks like it is written in Infernal.
Oh, snap.
Alright, I'm gonna kind of leaf through, see if anything stands out.
Okay. What you're going to end up seeing as you're kind of going through this, it actually is talking about the origins of the hells themselves, how they came into existence, but you're also going to end up seeing what is people who've actually gone down to the hell planes, and they're describing essentially what they observed as happening during the judgment of people and the lesser souls that were sent down there. You're going to end up seeing what is a very detailed description about how this transpires. I could give you more, but it's a matter of what you want to read.
I'm gonna close it and put it back.
Okay.
Looking.
Okay. All right. So we'll go back to you guys in a second. Going to you, Reginald. Okay. So you're sitting there in the corner of the room.
Oh, I want to see what's on the table. I want to get a better look at maybe what the guy's also like kind of scribbling on there.
So as you're like crawling over the roof and trying to get over top of the table, I want you to roll stealth.
That is a 19. Yeah, 19.
19. And as you end up getting over top of this, you're gonna end up just kind of barely getting a little bit of web out and just kind of lowering yourself ever so slightly just so you get a better look. And as you do, you're able to see that it looks like they're actually transcribing something. Because they have a bunch of papers just laid out in front of them. It looks like they're finishing a copy of what looks like some kind of actually a map for some reason. It looks like as you're kind of giving it a look, I want you to go look, I want you to go roll survival.
A natural 20.
Nice.
Unnatural or natural?
Unnatural.
So this is, as you're looking at this a little bit closer, you don't have a whole lot of experience with any of this stuff, but this actually looks like battle plans. It looks like troop movements.
And I don't know where the area is that they're drawing it on?
It's hard for you to tell, but it looks like it's of a region that's. Wait a second. No, you know this region. This isn't the Freelands. This is actually a battle map just showing the entirety of the Freelands as he's transcribing this onto their parchment. As you end up looking more at some of the other papers scattered about, you're going to end up seeing what is notes and things like that, documenting different types of supplies being sent to Shadowstone, different alliances set with different cities. You're also going to end up seeing what looks like funds in the Royal Reserve. As this is all happening, you're kind of looking at the armory, bringing the piece together. I'm in an area with the Lord's Court.
Okay, definitely found what you needed there, big dog.
Yes, didn't find a restricted section.
Okay. So, besides the hallway where the stairs is there like another like a door or entrance way?
Nope.
Okay. It's just this one little room. Okay.
As you're kind of sitting there too. Oh, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say I just want to look around to see if anything else catches my eye.
Okay. So as you're looking more at the desk, you're going to end up seeing what is entire messages and memos and everything. One of them is going to be really hard for you to read, but I want you to go ahead and roll investigation.
Investigation.
20. It's 10 now.
10. So you can't really pick up on much of it, but it looks like it's a couple of letters that have been copied in triplicate. And as you're sitting there trying to read this, you're going to end up hearing a little bit. I don't entirely understand why it is that we are having to make this move so rapidly. You're going to end up watching as the man that's sitting there transcribing things immediately begins to say, Nathaniel, I've told you once, I'll tell you 1,000 times. We are to do as the Lord commands. But it does not mean that we are taking it from one of his syndicates. This does not make me sit well. It is not up to you to question our Lord. Whatever it is he decides to do, means to communicate, or whom he communicates through, we listen. I understand this. A syndicate? Why can't he just come here? She's one of his most loyal servants. You dare to question. Have you learned but nothing? Do you remember what happened to the last who stood in your area in the court? I didn't think so. Do you want to reminisce that? Do you want to live it yourself? No. So stop questioning the Lord's will. We're moving to the new location in the Eye of Exrath. It's for the greater good. Well, at least we'll get this sent out to the armies. Are you done yet? After they're done filling up the bag of holdings with all the rest of the scrolls, we'll have to get out of here. And once you stop annoying me with your insolent questions, I will get the rest of this filled out and we'll be able to leave. I hope very much these dragons we're going to be working with are going to make things easier for us than you will.
Sorry, I had to.
That's good.
Are you quite finished? If you are. Good. Go load up the rest of the bags of holding, please. Make sure they don't miss anything. And tell the librarian on the way out that they'll be good to clean the chamber for us, and we won't be needing it again for the next time. You've already paid, correct? Of course. Good. Then, one by one, let us make our leave.
How do you follow that? That's crazy.
That wasn't what you were expecting, bro.
Wait and stay for.
Thinking of something. I'm thinking here, but I'm wee little on myself by down here.
Spin a web in the shape of the map.
Do you want more time? Do you want time to think about it? I'll interject. Do you want time to think about it?
So are they now starting to leave one by one, or are they still like gathering the scrolls into the bags? How many bags do I see of the bags of holding?
It looks like there are 6 servants in there that seem to be carrying around bags of holding.
How many people are there in total?
In total, you're probably looking around 10.
10 people in total. Okay.
A couple of people look like they're very, very ironclad,
Okay.
and the rest of them look like they're more servants.
Okay.
Just pour it on top of you.
Yeah. No, going one-on-one is. Yeah. Still really low.
You can check them.
Nah, I'd win.
No balls, you won't.
I'd win.
No, I win.
So aren't.
You want more time, or?
Yeah.
Alright, let's go to you.
Yeah, I want to read about my lord now.
Yep.
So I had 3 names in there I recognized.
Yep.
So I want to read about my lord. Zenarvo?
I'd have to look it up again.
That's what I have written down.
Well, it should be, it's Zen something. I just have to...
Xenaryo.
Zenaro.
And then I have the only thing next to it says my lord.
So, yep. So you can go ahead and roll investigation on Zenaro. This is going to end up taking you basically another hour to read. I'm actually not sure if... Let's actually... We'll do that. These guys might interrupt you while you're doing this.
I was just
Okay.
giving him time to think.
Yeah, totally. So let's go to you two then. So you went to the smallest book now. It's fine. Roll investigation to find the smallest book.
I have a thin cap.
Actually, on my way to the smallest book on the smallest shelf on the wall, I kind of decide maybe it's something magical. So can I detect Arcana?
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll Arcana.
What would that be? Intelligence?
Mhm.
17.
All right, so as you're looking around and trying to see if there's anything magic up here, you're not seeing anything really standing out from the books, unfortunately.
Oof. I go for the smallest book on the smallest shelf.
All right, so as you end up finding the smallest book in the smallest shelf, you pull this particular one out, and as you open it up, you're going to see that this one's actually written entirely in common. And you're going to end up seeing that this is actually a journal. You're kind of reading through the first page. It seems like it's written from the perspective of some kind of an adventurer. And as you start kind of reading through a little bit more, you're going to see it looks like this adventure maybe about 40 years ago, as the dates are kind of difficult to read as they fade a little bit, is recalling some time going through different parts of the Eye of Exrath with different members of this elite organization. And it looks like it's hard to read, but it's just talking about that. How he traveled with many, and then as you end up seeing in the end, you're going to end up seeing that it looks like he's talking about tracking down many magical items. And then one of which you're going to end up seeing at the very bottom of the page, notes to it with a question mark, is the deck of many things.
Who's in the room with me right now other than Arthur?
Arthur and the other librarian.
Is the librarian watching us by chance?
He's not directly watching you.
I'd like to try to put it in my shirt.
Let's have you roll. Let's have you roll intelligence really quick. Just straight intelligence.
What about gay intelligence?
We don't do that here.
No.
11.
Oh.
Okay. As you start to do that, you're like, oh, he's probably gonna turn around and notice that there's a blank spot on the shelf, and he's probably gonna check the shelf before we leave. Ooh.
As I think that to myself, I kind of shout out to Arthur, "Hey, I think I found something."
I look over and walk over.
I hand them the book and I keep looking.
kind of flip through. Okay, close it up. Put it back.
Deck of many things, bro. What are you doing?
That's not what he wants.
Question mark, question mark.
I do actually want to cast Detect Magic with the spell slot. So I can... real quick.
Alright, so as you end up doing that, you're able to see it looks like a couple of books actually pop up on the shelf. And one of them actually is the book you just put down. Okay.
I'm just going to kind of hold it to my side and then go grab for the other book.
And as you end up grabbing that other book, look at this one's a little bit bigger. So as you end up going through the smaller book, you end up kind of just perusing through the pages. And eventually you get to one page that this was one that just seems to immediately glow to you. It's with your Detect Magic. It immediately starts glowing. And as you start reading through, you're going to end up seeing what is written in there is what is actually a spell scroll, just literally written into this book on one of the pages. Then on the page right adjacent to it, you're going to end up seeing what is basically just instructions saying when to use the spell, how to use the spell. It's a note to self, and it's going to say Bartaniel.
Say it one more time.
It's going to say note to self from Bartaniel.
Bartaniel.
It's my cousin.
If D'Artagnan and Nathaniel had a baby, their baby name would be
Bartaniel. Yeah. That it would be.
Can I tell what spell it is?
I'm trying to see if it's on your spell list.
Is it on the wizard spell list?
That's what I'm trying to see.
Uh-huh.
I had the name, I just don't remember what the spell list is. Or what the spell... Sorry, who knows the spell?
There's so many of these. Literally everything is... Have you looked at the spell list? Go to manage spell. It's all just everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love the free.
So I think that is... You're a sorcerer, so it's on the sorcerer.
Sorcerer and
Wizard?
Wizard?
well, artificers pull from.
Oh, they do pull from the wizard spells?
From the
Oh,
wizard
okay,
spells.
so yeah. It's banishment.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah.
You know that.
I'm gonna leaf through, maybe find anything else.
Yeah. Looks like that was the only thing that was really magical in there. But as you're kind of going through, you're going to end up seeing more and more of these pages that they're talking about accounts of, just, again, kind of what I was telling him, just this going through with this adventuring party. But as it turns out, he ends up saying during one of the later pages, as you kind of flip to one of them, you're going to see in kind of like larger letters, it looks like it's a little more scribbled. Scribbled rather in larger letters. It's going to end up saying, how times change when they find power. All they needed was the deck of many things, and everything else fell into play. Next time, I guess, on to the next adventure.
Side note, on in the material plane, like, is the deck of many things just one, or is there like multiple decks of many things?
We don't know.
You get that D100?
I have an actual deck of many things, so.
You really?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Don't bring that up here, bro. Just chill out. We don't even do anything.
7. Don't tempt me with a good time.
All right.
I was just say 4.
So that would take probably about like 7 minutes for you to do. So you
Okay.
probably have like literally 5 minutes left.
Okay. I'm gonna going to very carefully set the book down on the shelf and quietly begin to separate.
Roll sleight of hand.
Couldn't have warned me, bro. I could be in the corner coughing, distracting him.
Inspiration. If needed.
Yeah. Alright, it's okay.
Was that bad?
wasn't good. 13.
13.
Oh,
Okay. Well,
On the
luckily for
scroll.
you,
Shoot.
wizards aren't that wise by default.
Oh my god, if I did that joke right behind him.
There you go.
Sorry.
well, I know
So-
that.
So as you end up kind of doing this, you're like really just freaking out, looking around. Just, everything's good. It's like rip. Then she get the last little bit of it off.
Put it away. I'm still gonna look around with detect magic still, but stay with me if you want.
You end up seeing what looks like the librarian has a couple little magic items on him, but
No other.
no other books. No, just those two. All right, going back to you, D'Artagnan.
Oh shit. At this point, I know time is dwindling, so I close my eyes and I just get ready to pick a book, any book on the shelf.
Okay. Roll a d20 for me, just a d20.
Nine.
9. Okay. So you end up actually just randomly pulling a book off the shelf in this restricted section. As you grab it, it looks like dust actually begins to kind of fly off in your face a little bit. It looks like this area you're grabbing from hasn't been touched in quite some time. But as you pull this book out, you start to lay it onto the side and open it up. You're going to end up seeing that the book is written in common. And as you kind of read what is the actual title, it looks like it's actually faded a little bit over time as the ink just kind of dissolves slightly. You just fade out, you just kind of turn over to the next page, trying to get over some of the text that's fading. And you're going to end up seeing what is like a bookmarker in there. And the bookmarker ends up saying, needs to be rewritten. And you start kind of crossing through a little bit more. You're going to end up seeing what looks like a little text that you could actually read. It looks like the book you're holding is talking about the actual founding and findings of the Empire, the origin of it, and how they came to worship the gods.
Interesting. Using my skills of deduction, would I be able to piece together?
So actually, because of your background, we're gonna actually go ahead and have you roll insight really quick. Or, no, history. History probably makes more sense.
Well, 8.
8. So with advantage, right? Because your history, or your background rather.
13.
Okay.
Or 10, sorry.
Okay. So as you're kind of like looking at this, you're like, oh, right. This is I've learned this from the libraries before. If I actually go and hand this off to them because they forgot to actually transcribe this, then they'll really appreciate this, because else this history is going to be lost for good.
I'd like to approach the librarian then.
Okay. All right. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. What can I do for you?
While I was looking through these books, I couldn't help but notice there's a bookmarker that says needs to be translated or needs to be rewritten.
What? Does it? Let me see that.
And I hand it to him.
Oh no. Thank you so much for finding this. This history would have been lost. I'm in your debt, sir. Thank you. What's that?
Nothing.
I say not a problem, and
You could just tell him that. Yeah, you could just have the conversation with him. Yeah.
not a problem. I'm happy to help. There is one thing you can do for me, though.
Yes. What could I do?
Well, you know why we're here. Could you kindly point me out to the books on the subject matter that we're here for?
What? I'm unaware of your.
Is this not the guy who led us up the stairs?
I'm assuming you're. He knew what he was coming up. Why do you not know?
Look at Arthur, and I'm like,
He's deep in the book.
I'm here for a different purpose, but if I can help my companion, I will.
Well, what's your purpose then?
I signed an NDA.
I'm not familiar with that.
It's a magical contract that says I cannot disclose the purpose.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
How would you like me to help with this? Loosen your tongue? We don't really sell booze and liquor here.
I look at him, I look at Arthur, and I look back at him. Fine, whatever.
Well, thank you for the book. Well, she just kind of turns back around and starts looking off at other
I start muttering to myself.
things.
Help me find the goddamn book.
Okay. Anything else you want to do?
No.
Okay. All right, going back to Reginald.
Yep, sorry. Okay. Alright, so I actually want to scutter my way down. Just kind of plant myself
On Nathaniel?
on the name.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna
He's riding that baby all night.
I'm going to attempt to wait it out. I'm going to try to crawl on the ground, just kind of wait, just crawl,
Okay.
and just sort of get right on the side of his boot, just crawl right on it, so it just kind of blend right into it, so that no one can notice.
Okay.
Stealth.
I want you to roll investigation really quick.
Okay.
What I'm curious, what's his bracelet turn into?
It just
Little tiny
It's on one of his
bracelet.
legs.
Is that investigation?
Investigation.
15.
So, as you're examining the body and everything, you're trying to figure out what might be the best spot in his armor. You do feel like the legs could work, but there actually is like a little like torso thing that he's wearing around his waist. As you're looking on the back, it looks like there's kind of like a leather flap area if you want to get in there, like right on the back of his hip.
Oh, okay, so yeah, he's also wearing armor. Okay, so yeah, I would want to get right into one of the niches of his armor.
All right, let's have you go ahead and roll stealth.
18.
Okay. As you end up crawling across the entirety of the room and you get onto the floor, looks like people are really focused on collecting the different scrolls. Roll stealth again.
23.
And as you end up getting that much closer across the floor, you're actually trying to dodge a little bit of the people's footsteps. They seem to be not paying you any mind. One actually ends up dropping a scroll. It lands right in front of you. You just kind of freeze, and they immediately go to pick up the scroll. After a couple seconds, you're like, start scattering forward. And as you're scurrying your way through, I want you to roll stealth.
Alright.
He's so quiet right now. No pitter patter here.
Alright, 24.
Okay. And as you end up getting even closer, you start actually crawling up a little bit at the side of the leg. As you start crawling up the leg, you actually hear is like what to you sounds like just a ringing gong, which is going all the way up his armor. Roll another stealth for me.
It'll be for beverage kind, sir.
You want one of these?
Which one?
Surprise me.
Shit, you're not another 24.
24.
Maybe the next one.
It looks like you're able to sneak your way all the way up into this little area on the side of the pocket on the edge of his armor.
Spider web.
Okay.
Okay.
You're sitting there.
Alright, I'm gonna chill there. I'm gonna ride him out.
Pioneers used to run these babies from the
Alright, so I'm going to catch him.
I was looking in for my lord.
Okay, so what was that? It was an investigation?
Yes.
What was your investigation? It's a ballsy play, bro.
Yeah, it was.
It was a 17. I rolled a 10.
Alright. So as you end up reading a little bit, you're gonna end up seeing that he is the reigning archfey, essentially, of the Eldrin species. And he really holds in the highest esteem all of the Eldrin. He believes that mortals are interesting and mortals are fun, but really the Eldrins are the only things that of any consequence to him. He holds his court to be in the highest of honors. Anyone who's a part of his court is essentially just a demigod alongside him. what he views them as. It's something where he really, really, really enjoys the thrill of what he calls the election cycle, where people are essentially competing within the Feywild, trying to become a part of his court, vigorously going out and performing whatever mundane task he determines, all in one end of being a member of his court. He's very well known and very highly regarded, and the few times he has come to the material plane, it's been a spectacle. It's been reported about many times in history books. Most of the time it's been in this particular continent you're in, whether it had been documented in the Empire or documented in the Northern Lands, in the Isles, or in the Freelands. His appearances, while more frequent than others, are always known.
Is there anything as far as mention of things he collected? Or pray, or like
Roll a d4 for me.
D4. 3.
Okay. As you're actually reading through, you're going to end up finding something. And what it's talking about specifically is some of his favorite gifts he's received over the course of the years. One of which was actually a relic of a forgotten time. And it seems like with all of the presents or gifts he's received, his time coming to what is the material plane in this documentation, it seems to allude that while the gift and its value is of great consequence, the actual story and tale behind it is what really captivates him.
Um,
And that's going to be what you're doing with the rest of your time there.
I was going to say, after I got to that point, I would have been like, I figured it out. And then I start heading straight to look for the librarian to direct me to everybody else's.
Yep. You would not be able to do that, though.
That's
So
fine.
you're right.
I'm just saying, that's what my
Yeah.
character is going to do.
Yep, one of you guys.
Okay. I just found something.
The other book that you picked up.
The other book that I picked up, took the scroll out of it, put that away. I'm looking for a really particularly dilapidated looking book. One that's like the cover is like hanging on by a thread. Fucking
Roll
paper
investigation.
looks like just shit brown nearly. It's just like
Yeah,
fucking.
roll investigation.
What subject matter, though?
Oh, he said elephant.
It's only not 20.
That's fine. Okay. All right, so as you end up kind of looking around, looks like basically all the books are in pretty good shape. But there's one over there on the top shelf that really stands out. As you end up barely pulling it out, and you end up bringing it down, you're going to tell that this thing has actually been kind of rebound over and over and over again. And as you end up opening the book a little bit more, you're going to end up seeing, as you're actually going up to it, the book actually started to glow. So as you end up grabbing off the shelf,
The book itself glue?
the book itself is glowing.
Load.
Yeah, glowed.
Glue.
I've never had to use that word.
As you got closer to the book climbing up the staircase, the book actually started to glow. So your detect magic wasn't picking it up earlier. Once you got up to the top shelf, you're able to see it.
Okay.
As you end up pulling it out, though, and start moving through, it looks like it literally is stitched together to be held. But it looks like the text is in perfect condition, while the paper itself looks completely destroyed. It looks like the text still exists, it still lies, almost like it was magically preserved inside the book.
What language is it?
Yeah. So what languages do you know?
Abyssal, Common, Infernal, and Abyssal, Common, Elvish, Infernal.
It's not a language you're familiar with, but you're pretty intelligent. So as you're kind of reading through, I want you to go ahead and roll history.
It's not as good. It's a 13.
Okay. You're going to end up finding that this looks kind of like some languages you've seen in the past. It's probably something of a higher life, like Celestial, Primordial, or something like that.
I'm just gonna kind of flip to random sections just to kind of see if like anything stands out in particular.
Okay. As you end up kind of flipping through the pages, you're going to end up running across one section. And this page actually has like an entire diagram across it. It's not really written in the language. It has some words on there in the language that you don't really know in this book. But it looks like it's some kind of an outline of what looks like the elemental planes. They kind of surround the Feywild and has like kind of pull-offs to different areas and just paragraphs of text in this language you're not familiar with. Is trying to figure this out. And you're kind of thinking to yourself as you're going through this, like, oh, God, I wish I had tongues. Or not tongues, rather, but a language-speaking thing.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of, as I'm holding the book and realizing like I don't have enough time, I'm gonna look up and just see what the librarian's doing.
The librarian actually looks like he's kind of looking through this book that looks like D'Artagnan gave earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And he's actually going to be kind of looking up at you, both of you guys, just periodically.
I do want to go over to him.
Okay.
And approach with this book in hand, specifically. Excuse me. Would you know anything about... This speaks to me. This book. I think this is what I came for. It feels right. Can you tell me anything about it and its contents?
Oh, let me see it. Okay. Your watch just kind of does something and looks like he casts some kind of spell. Oh, this is a relic of the creation of the elemental planes, their origin, how the Genocide and G's came into existence. How the planes are tied to the Feywild and descriptions of experiences to these areas. I see why this was preserved very well. Not much is known about the elemental planes. Few of us have ever been able to go there. By us, meaning, of course, the human species. But even those others, it's quite rare that they go to the elemental planes and come back to recall the tales. If you're interested on truly the extraplanar.
Truly.
Watch your hands back to you.
This is a very, very big ask. I won't have enough time in order to read this. May you allow me either the time or to take leave with this, on the promise of its return.
That I cannot. But your friend has done me a great service. He pointed out a book of great value. Watch you kind of lifts this thing up. That would have gotten rotted and lost in time. It was marked to be corrected and rewritten, but unfortunately that was overlooked. I shall let you back in here when I am on duty next. One time, additionally. I'll give you an hour. But even those who have paid their dues know this. You're only allowed access to this library once. I don't remember seeing you on the schedule. But mix-ups happen. The chaos going on in the city.
Thank you. And I'd like to offer my services to begin to repen this book that would otherwise have faded away.
Are you able to rewrite it?
I'd certainly give it a try.
I know you'd be willing to give it a try, but we have scribes trained in specifically copying and emulating the writing styles of those who have been deceased. While I appreciate your offer, it will no longer be. Not a problem. Now, are the two of you ready to depart?
Yeah, let me go return this.
Yes, please.
I'm gonna go return the elemental book and slip the other into my deck of holding.
You would also know the other thing.
The deck of many things.
That they're gonna fist us if you get caught, brother. You're gonna be banished.
You would know if libraries, especially like the restricted section stuff in the past, they,
So
they kind of give it a once over before they go. So.
I see him kind of like look at his bag of holding, look at the book, look at the other book in his hand, and I just like I put my hand on his shoulder.
You could do it if you want. I'm just saying.
I'm very tempted,
Yeah,
but I will listen to my better judgment and that of my companions.
We get a whole hour next time round. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that out there. Maybe we bring Mr. Booklearn in and Mr. Spider-Man with us.
Yeah, I'll put both books back.
Okay, you could open. All right. So as you end up being escorted down the stairs, you watch as he unlocks the door, lets the two of you out, then immediately goes to lock the door and starts walking off.
What did you find?
Well, a great deal. I wish I could explore more.
Was that groveling I heard earlier? Were you begging him to allow you to do something?
To go back, of course. To return, to study further.
It sounded a little bit like groveling to me, but if you say so.
Well, call it what you will. I call it an opportunity.
Well, I found two books. One you just kind of casually perused through. It looks like adventurers 40 years ago. They went to the Eye of Xrath and they found a bunch of magical stuff. This deck of many things.
I did see that specifically mentioned. I was very tempted. There was the book itself. Something about it that I didn't quite understand. It had magical origin, but I don't know of what kind. What it might do.
Would I have seen him put this spell scroll in his pocket?
You probably wouldn't have seen that. You recover refocus the splinter thing, so.
So what now? Do you find what you were looking for?
Well, I found certainly something I didn't know I was looking for, but found it anyway. I think we should also go find our companions.
I reckon we shall.
Alright, and you're actually going to end up stumbling into Cassian. And we're going to go to you guys. So, as it looks like people are beginning to kind of leave the space, you see what is the servants carrying out these bags. And finally end up watching as Nathaniel ends up following one of the servants out. You end up kind of walking through the library, and he was kind of going through, you hear the clackling of his armor and everything. It's making it difficult to really hear anything. But you actually end up seeing what is Cassian off in the corner. He's very, very involved in something, sitting at a table, just reading through it. You're going to watch as that kind of passes by, though, as you walk out of the library and into the streets. And you end up hearing what is a couple of just miscellaneous conversations, a couple of singing bards. Then all of a sudden, you stop. You end up hearing a little bit of conversation. Oh, sir, thank you so much for what you do for the Lord. You are but servants, and we are but so fortunate to have you helping us. What, of course. This is what we do. Members of the Lord's service are but humbled and honored to serve their patrons. And you do nothing else. You're just a saint. Thank you. And you watch this woman just kind of, you watch the hand just kind of go around his back and see what the armor makes a clack over. Yes, very well, citizen. Thank you. I am wed. But I do appreciate it. And you'll watch as that just kind of begins to fade off into the distance as you hear a clackling of the armor as you begin to come walking up.
Yeah.
Got a boyfriend.
And you're going to be hearing something else. Oh, I didn't expect you to be over here. I bet you didn't. The Lord told us his time's coming. But he told us to stall. We received the orders. We'll be in retreat for right now. You're lucky you stopped it. It was going to be gruesome. You shouldn't be talking about this in public. Next time. And you're going to immediately start hearing clackling armor. And it seems like he's walking away.
From the jackpot hiding spot, dog. Crazy prop hunt going nuts. Holy shit.
Ooh. Good. Would I? I'm like hidden in there. Would there be a way like I can just kind of peek out to see like where in the city like we would be?
Yeah, so actually, as you end up giving a little bit of a peek out, I want you to roll stealth.
Oh, wait, Brad, we got fucking
11.
Okay.
Oh no.
So as you end up kind of moving a little bit, just something ends up rattling around inside that little pouch. Then that little rattling actually happened right as he stopped walking. Here's that rattling. Huh? Just immediately starts like swatting off his backside. I want you to go ahead and roll acrobatics.
Okay.
Dude, you're on his ass, bro? That's crazy.
I thought I was more on like the niche on his bag, but
Somebody
you are
put
more
Mission
than
Impossible
each other's
music.
Yeah.
Like
That is-
next to a pouch.
Dirty 20.
Yeah. And as he ends up kind of like swatting it and everything, you're gonna end up feeling like you're able to just barely miss it. It looks like you're kind of like crawling onto the bottom, just like. As that happens, you're gonna watch and he just starts kind of turning around more and begins kind of swinging you around. I want you to roll athletics. Remember you're using the spider's modifier. So.
Right, I think
I just want to make sure you're doing that.
it's the same at least for like athletics. I know our dexterity is pretty. It. What's the dog doing?
Giant spider.
No. No. You said
And as he wears his giant
athletics.
spider backpack and walking through the city,
you said athletics.
Athletics.
That's strength, but
Oh,
And as that ends up
his
happening,
smile is
Yo.
like.
as that ends up happening, you're gonna watch as like he's kind of just like hitting this thing as it rounds, and immediately you're just a little suction cup legs, like, whoop, and you just come flying down to the ground.
Aim for the bushes.
Taking 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh, that brings me out of wild shape immediately as
Alright.
soon as I hit the
Two?
ground. Yeah.
Two.
You wanna know what my hit points is? 1.
10 HP?
So as you end up hitting the ground,
Instantly reshape.
you're going to instantly reshape as he's just kind of swatting around back there and just turning around.
Instantly wild shape again. Just go back and
Yeah, I'm gonna.
What?
Oh,
Where'd you come from? What the? What was? You're a peasant. What are you doing here?
oh shit!
This is a noble district. Gods!
He said
Gods!
papers, mom. Oh, you probably got a license for sitting on my house.
I'm only trying
Gods!
to find my
Gods!
way. I'm sorry.
Gods,
Are
come
we-
here.
Please, I'm hungry. I'm hungry.
You're gonna
That's it.
watch as it looks like 5 scale legionnaires just immediately start surrounding the area. What do you want to do?
Turn into a bird, brother.
no, the fuck. No.
Let me see your papers.
Of course.
If you're looking for food, what the hell are you doing in a noble district? Let me see your papers.
I'm not well with directions.
You don't even Goes to the guard next to him. This is a blighted district.
Listen, I know.
He's fighting today.
To the Colosseum.
Today, I thought I had 24 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, tomorrow.
He's saying that. He's saying that.
Oh. Yes, I am one of the fighters. Like I said, I'm very bad with directions. I was escorted here with a companion of mine. He was my escort.
And where are you? Why are you here?
Got lost, like I told you.
Guards, I think it best if we take him away and bring him in for questioning.
Oh, that doesn't need to be necessary. It's fine. I'm telling you the truth. I simply got lost. My friend does have a diamond pass. I was with him. We went to some of the shops. I was merely gazing at an item when all of a sudden I turn around and he's gone, and I'm here trying to find him. And as I'm looking around, I stumbled. I fell on my feet, and that's where. And I look at it, and that's where you found me.
Let's go deception.
Godspeed. Godspeed.
5.
Oh no!
You won, yeah.
That's a convincing story. What? But you know what's even more convincing?
Okay.
Is the idea of putting you in a cell.
Somebody's gonna be eating prison hot dogs.
I'm not going to resist.
You're not watching it, both of them just dogpile on you.
Dog At least keep my bones intact. I need them to fight.
They're gonna immediately go ahead and cuff you behind your back and just pick you up and just start kind of dragging you off. You're not watching it. It looks like they're kind of like signaling at something. You watch it say,
No.
"Greetings, citizen. You have been convicted of crimes. Please do not resist." You're gonna watch as he grabs you by like the basically handcuffs in the back of your arm, links onto something, and starts dragging you across the
I'm
ground.
gonna go limp.
Specifically dragging you against the ground, just like rocks gonna be hitting your face. It's just, dust keeps flying up and just going through.
Brutality.
Please do not resist. Please do not resist as he's just dragging you through the streets.
It's gonna be limp. It's like,
Yeah, we gotta see the body cam of this shit.
in today's news, a local slum made his way into the inner city.
How far away did he get from the library?
He got really far actually. So as you're getting like dragged away, you're gonna end up seeing that you're basically up next to what looks like the docks in Noble District.
Oh damn!
Somebody's gonna walk the plank.
Yeah.
Been a big time.
Well,
As you end up getting
yeah.
dragged through the Noble District, you're gonna eventually end up kind of getting to this point. You're just hitting straight cobblestones, like the cobblestones, and the little diamonds that kind of the diamonds in the gold that's kind of sitting in between the cobblestone. It looks a lot less pretty when you're getting banged up
like-
against it.
Oh, that's nice. Ow. Oh, that's nice. Ow. Oh, that's nice.
Eventually, you're gonna end up getting dragged out of the Noble District and over towards what looks like the dock area. And it looks like the animatronics are finally just dropping and saying, "Thank you, sir, for not complying. Citizen." Then you're gonna watch it just immediately starts kind of and starts walking away. The guards immediately just kind of pick you up, bring you inside what is this kind of cell-like area. And then as they bring you down this corridor, it looks like they start kind of stripping you of your belongings and everything when you get to the base, and just toss you into a cell.
Damn.
They don't attempt to take the bracelet off, did they?
I think
They did not.
smarter than I.
Okay.
Yep.
Key. Okay.
Damn.
Okay, I'm just gonna just kind of plead. Please, there is a misunderstanding. I'm telling you all the truth. I did come in with my companion. I was his guest. Please, his name is Cassian. His name is Cassian, and he is residing in one of the hotels here in the Noble District.
I was heard to go ahead and just sit here and wait. Eventually, they're going to come down and talk to you.
Guess there's no point trying to get through you, huh?
I was told just to wait. Eventually, they're going to come down and talk to you.
Okay. Can I look around to see who else is down in these cells?
Yeah, actually, you're gonna look around. You're gonna see what looks like a couple of just normal civilian kind of things.
Sorry.
But you are actually gonna see what looks like a necromancer down
Oh. Is it our friend?
This is
Go
like
look at
there.
him.
Friend.
Ah.
This is the start of the Oblivion Crisis. I've seen this before.
I just look over and I see what was his name? Bill.
What do you think it was?
I don't have my notes.
Win.
So. Win. Ah. Okay. I look over and I look at Win and I'm like, try not to.
You just look at like two eyes just darting, just staring daggers through you.
Look back and make eye contact. Win, what are you? Oh, hello.
Was Win the one
Fancy.
we threw under the bus?
Yes.
100%.
He didn't know
What are
that,
you
though.
doing here? Kind of peculiar place to be. I thought you said you had business. Other matters.
You're gonna watching. He just kind of begins like crawling on the ground over there, and kind of picks up what looks like a little piece of metal off the ground. He's gonna immediately just kind of point it over towards you. You're gonna hear a little voice in your head. I fucking hate you.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's just so.
Well, I guess that's.
You can respond. Yeah.
Huh?
You can respond.
I can respond. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna say
This is all nonverbal.
Okay. Just respond. Oh, well, it's record time for when someone has hated me.
They said 4 people turned me over.
4 people?
They said one was a druid, one was some crazed elf, another one was an elf with white eyes. Awfully familiar.
In my regards, they could have meant just about it. Have you seen the amount of people that are in this city?
I hate you,
Right, yes, you did say that.
but I want to get out of here again.
Okay, so, now we're meeting neutral ground here. Yes, I do too. See, first of all, I apologize for what happened to you and for what has happened. I agree. It's not the best place to really stay in. However, this might be a tougher spot than previous. See, they literally took everything. Also, kind of scheduled to fight here in a few hours.
That is unfortunate. If I get you out of here with me, you are going to owe me big fucking time.
I see what's going on. Okay.
High risk, high reward.
All right. You know what? As you put your trust in us and getting you out in the previous cell you were accommodating, I'll put my trust in you this time. And
roll performance.
as a crit fail.
No.
Just about.
Okay, carry on.
Contacts to put in.
Carry on. Okay.
Unamused.
Just as you accommodated the previous cell, and you put your trust in us, I will put my trust in you. And I will go by your word, and I will owe you big time.
Very well. Come here, please. You know, watch it. He kind of like gets up to the edge of the cell.
Okay, all right.
Just
Yes.
Instant.
No,
I go up.
be ready for this.
We're ready for what?
You have to be ready for it.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
You're gonna watch as he just immediately rests his hand on top of you. You're just gonna feel. You're willing?
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Right. And you are immediately just going to collapse. Not even snoring. You just immediately collapse. You have no dreams, no nothing. Okay. Go on, you guys. You guys reconvene in the library.
Fuck.
That's crazy. I bet you totally planned that for sure.
What's that?
I bet you totally planned all of that for sure.
Totally, bro. For sure.
Oh, shit.
Talk about a fucking.
Talk about what?
That was just wild. Just an adventure.
Where's
Where's
Wild right now.
Where's the pen?
But you need some creative.
I needed some.
Hey, you use some creative properties for me. These are all confidential. Okay? These are mine. All right, you guys find it.
Cassian, you orange devil.
I figured it out. Let's go. Come on. I know what I need to do now.
What you need to do.
Well, yeah.
Why is everything always about you?
It's the purpose I'm here. I need to get the best story, the rarest item that has the best meaning and most unique everything behind it.
Well, pump the brakes for just a second.
Where's Reginald?
Pump the
He
brakes for
must
just
go.
Let's please
What?
hear D'Artagnan.
I found a book that says a location of a bunch of magical items, including
Let's
the
go.
deck of many things, deck of all things, deck of
Deck of-
some things,
deck of
deck of many things,
Many things.
many things. How's that rate on your scale of magical items? It's got to be near the top.
See, now I've recently learned it's more about the story of the item itself than necessarily the power it wields.
What if it's both?
Is it the story of the item itself, or the story of how you obtain it?
Potentially either. Or what it means to somebody else. But anyways, let's go. Let's go see this book. Which way? Here? And I start walking. What?
We will have to come back on the morrow when a certain librarian has a certain understanding that wants to go see it.
There are a bunch of books up there with a bunch of rare words that may be exactly what you're looking for.
Can you be a little more specific?
I wish I could. I wish I could.
We didn't have enough time.
Can you be a little more specific?
Apparently.
I'm going back tomorrow, and I'm going to find out more of what's up there.
I look at the sundial on my wrist. Isn't it time for Reginald to be fighting?
No, we just
No.
fight till tomorrow.
And I thought there was
We had 24 hours. It's
Oh.
only been about 5,
can't imagine that.
right? It's only been about 5 realistically.
Hmm?
5, 6 hours. Yeah. So we still have 19. Where's Reginald?
You haven't seen him yet? We just came from up in a.
I left him with you.
Well, he went his own area to see the librarian.
How well do you guys know Reginald?
Yeah, that was about an hour
I mean,
ago.
I'm the newest guy to the group.
How well do you know Reginald?
Pretty well, I'd say.
Do you think he's at a pub or something?
No, he would.
Getting one last hoorah in?
No, I'd suspect he's somewhere around here. He has to be. do want to briefly kind of glimpse around, look down some aisles if I can.
As you're looking down the aisles, you actually do remember him being relatively close to where you were, and you kind of are peering over in the area. You're not seeing anyone, actually.
Well, let's try to find him. He has to be around here somewhere.
I walk up to the librarian. Sir, where's the other person I came here with? Little raggier clothes.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I led him over to this location over there.
He's not there anymore. Did you see him leave?
Right there.
No, I did not see him leave, actually. No, I did leave a couple of times. I left my projection up here, but I would have probably noticed, regardless.
Anyways, I go off and maybe he's on a different aisle, so I go look around.
Doesn't look like you're able to find him.
Okay.
You probably end up spending a good hour or so just kind of wandering around. You're just not finding him in there.
I don't think I would have.
I think I would have given it like maybe a good
max.
5 minutes.
Okay.
Potentially, potentially
your
10.
good old pal.
Potentially 10,
That's fine.
depending on the
I'm okay
expanse
with
of the
That's
place.
fine.
Yeah, that was kind of my question, was how big is this?
It's a pretty big place. but-
So like 20, 30 minutes.
Okay.
I probably
Yeah,
would've
yeah.
played.
Okay, so 30 minutes then. You guys spent about 30 minutes.
Well, he might be back at the... Let's go back to the room. We'll see if he's there.
Why did you just leave without saying anything?
Maybe he got kicked out.
Well, no, I feel like we would have heard some sort of commotion if that was the case. It's all very odd. But he's not here, that's for sure. So, let's we go outside.
What race is Reginald, by chance?
He's, from what you remember, a human, so.
I got proficiency in tracking him.
Yeah, that's crazy. You sniff him out.
I mean,
Sniff out our boy.
is that a spell, or is
This
that...
thing's more this way.
Is that a... Because I'm going to
he
warn you
seems
that
to
not to
some
utilize
key right
magic.
No, it's not magic. It's a featured trait.
Okay, cool.
My favorite enemy.
Favorite.
Humanoids.
Hey,
Favorite enemy.
you can do it.
Oh, that's right. You're a ranger.
Yeah.
Hardly know her.
So you want to do?
I say to the group, well, it's obvious he's not here. Let's go check outside.
Sure.
Yep, let's do it.
Alright.
I begin to walk.
And
go
and
ahead.
as you end up kind of walking out, you are going to end up seeing what is normal hustle and bustle of the Noble District. Nothing too crazy is happening right now.
Awesome.
Is there any guards nearby?
What about the big robot?
It looks like there's actually a couple guards nearby. No giant robot right now.
You gentlemen, have you seen my scraggly friend? He's the fighter for later.
Well, I know who your scraggly friend is.
Well, he probably looks a bit out of place here, to be honest, but he's still a good friend.
I don't suspect they'd know anything either. Description.
Doesn't look like he dresses well to be here.
He was a
Compared to
filthy
the rest.
non-noble.
He was.
He was my guest, but he was a fighter
I don't know.
in the arena. No?
I don't know who you're
Y'all are
talking
useless.
about.
I walk off.
Oh, we're useless, huh? No, I'm sorry. We weren't done with this conversation. Well, let's come back.
I just keep walking away.
You're gonna end up hearing as these kind of footsteps and clanging armor start walking behind you.
Oh, you!
You got a license.
No.
Did you remember something?
No, I'm sorry. I just need to make sure I heard this right. So, just wanted to stop really quick and just check you out really fast. I figured I'd look at your papers. Why not?
Diamond, here we go.
Oh, that's just great.
I chime in real quick.
Crunches the entire thing up, puts it in his pocket.
Ooh.
Can I see your papers, please?
I just gave them to you. They're in your pocket.
Afraid I don't have any papers on me. I'm afraid I don't have any papers on me. I'm waiting for you to give me those papers. Hi, and you're gonna watch it immediately. Just comes off a kilt. I want you to go ahead and roll.
That's what my character would do.
I'm looking at it. They're
That's what my
like, are
character
you
would do.
believing this shit right now?
100%.
My eyes.
Are you believing this
I
shit right
hope they
now?
would do
Yeah,
the same.
you're gonna see where Reginald is pretty soon.
Let's have you go ahead and roll a. I guess this would be acrobatics, or I guess athletic. No, acrobatics probably. Acrobatics.
Trevor's hungry.
10.
And I'm watching as he does that. He immediately comes down with a kilt and just like bangs your arm, kind of rattling a little bit. It actually starts to really hurt. You're gonna take 1 bludgeoning damage.
I wanna give. Whoa! I don't think any of this is necessary.
He said shoeless.
What? Huh?
He said our friend was shoeless.
What is that?
I got it. He said the guard was useless. I'm saying our friend is shoeless.
I know, dude.
I'll give you a point of inspiration for that. Bro, that went over my head.
Yeah. It took me a second.
I picked it up instantly. I knew what you were doing. Don't worry.
It took me a second.
He said our friend was not only in baby gap, he was shoeless.
Okay, so you get a point of inspiration for that, and I want you to actually go ahead and roll a performance with advantage on that. I'll give you advantage on that one.
11.
Wait, what was the performance?
Plus what?
Plus 1.
Minus 1.
Use that inspiration!
I mean, I gotta use it.
No, you don't have to use it.
I gotta use inspiration.
No, you don't.
You can if you want
do not
to.
And if you want to, but
up
you
to
can
you.
save it. That's up to you.
You just got it. So.
Nah, he's a dick.
That is what I would do. I am playing how my character would act.
All right, very well. Maybe I misheard him. And gosh, my ears maybe need to get cleaned. Is what I'm thinking it needs to happen. Oh, if only those weren't so expensive nowadays.
I take 20 gold out of my pocket. I give it to him.
Just like immediately you do that. Like this is like here you go, like please, or like how are you doing it?
I kind of like look.
Like
at
what's
him.
your presentation style?
We make eye contact. I nod my head. He's nodding his head. I just take it out and I drop it in my
Very good. Ugh. I think this might be yours. You watch he hands you kind of a piece of paper. God, I'm terribly sorry about that. And he's gonna immediately just kind of walk away with his friend. Really just kind of start like cackling with each other. So you gave him 20 gold. That's
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Bro, D'Artagnan say the day.
I look at him.
That's crazy.
I look at him. You owe me some Skrilla, bud.
We'll see. Let's avoid doing that from these.
This is turning out to be a crazy episode.
No, bro, like, I'm
Totally on the rails. This is what we were supposed to be doing.
Bro,
the entire
literally,
time.
I have written in my notes here. And if he turns into a spider and hops in the back of his armor.
He's gonna meet this guy and hop on his back. Eavesdrop with him for 15
That's what it is all about, boys.
literally, this is what I mean. I just railroad you guys so much. This is what I love to do. Is just railroad.
practically force us to.
Bro, literally, I
Practically
want
force you in jail.
It's like, all right, I guess I have to turn into a spider. All right, guess I have to jump on his back. Jeez, fucking Dan's railroading me.
Yeah. Another day.
How else would we continue talking with fucking necromancy?
Exactly. He's a huge plot point.
He's the linchpin of this damn story.
Exactly. And here's the thing. I knew back then that you guys had to send him to jail. You knew that. I mean, I told you guys before the session you had to send the guy to jail. So yeah, he's not allowed to leave the city. If he leaves the city, it ruins the entire plot. So fuck that. All right. So, anyways,
I'd like to try tracking him.
Oh wait.
Do I smell Reginald?
Well, my favorite enemy
so can you read
is
that?
human.
Can you read that ability for me? How it works?
Absolutely.
Yeah, grab me another one. Dude, these are actually really good.
They're delicious.
You want the
Bro.
watermelon or a different one?
Oh, give me a different one.
You have advantage on survival checks to track your favorite enemies,
Can I get
as
the
well as
pink
int
one?
checks to recall information about them. You also learn one language of your choice that is spoken of your favorite enemies if they speak one at all.
Okay. So, I want you to go ahead and, as you're kind of like, we're just going to do this kind of a weird way. So, because you don't know exactly where it is, just as you're walking around the district, you're just going to be kind of looking for anything. So, let's just have you roll survival.
Advantage. 20, dirty 20.
Yep. You're not really seeing anything to noticeable. You see a lot of markings, obviously, from humans and everything, but nothing really all that distinct. You do remember that Reginald is wearing, you're wearing boots, right? You're wearing boots. You're wearing boots, right?
Shoeless.
So
Nice.
you do relatively remember like kind of the layout of his boots, and actually because they're very peasanty, they're not very.
The heel's very small.
Yeah, they're.
He's got a split for his toe. His big toe.
Oh my god.
But because his shoes actually don't have the grip and traction of everyone else that's kind of wearing clothes in the Nova District, it's pretty obvious if you were able to find his footprints. And actually, as you're kind of like going through the town more, I want you to roll survival again, or not survival, I guess. Whatever it is you're rolling for tracking. So I guess it would be survival. Yeah.
17. 18.
18. Okay. All right. It looks like you're still not finding anything. Why don't you do it again?
Damn.
Remember, he was only walking around for a very short period.
I think he was standing still and then got
That's the same one.
15.
Change dice.
Doesn't look like you're finding anything. Just this is just like a really, really hard DC because he literally only took like 5 steps before he got dragged through the entire district. So.
Change dice.
It's a really high DC. So
we just gotta find other people who might have saw a poor person.
Well, guys, I can't find his boots anywhere.
Well, back to the hotel. Maybe he's there. Maybe he's in the room.
I look at Arthur and look at Cassian. I look back at Arthur, like waiting for a nod of approval or a nod of dismay.
I mean, he needed rest.
We all do. I'd prefer if he'd said something at this point, but I don't have the faintest idea where he could have been. And why would...
Maybe his
No.
bracelet went off even more and he had to leave.
No, he was very, very careful about not leaving your side specifically. He wouldn't just do that so callously and walk off.
Let's try to put ourselves in his shoes.
I don't know about all that, but
If you make a poor joke about being in my shoes, I swear to God.
I'm walking around barefoot.
All right, buddy.
If it's my last night on Earth, I know tomorrow I'm gonna be fighting in the Coliseum, likely to my death. I'm gonna have a drink. I'm gonna have some food. Maybe I entertain some company.
He was guaranteed gonna win, essentially. I don't think he was worried.
Wow.
He wouldn't have just walked off. I just
Wasn't
don't
here.
know where he could have gone. And why he would. Something happened. Something must have happened. They didn't see him leave the library. Perhaps he either didn't leave or went somewhere else. Oh, found something else within.
Hmm.
I'm not putting anything past those librarians either. They are quite alert folk.
Did we talk about what each other are?
Me about you.
Like, but do I know that he's a druid?
I don't think so.
yeah, I wouldn't think so.
I don't think you've seen him
You
shapeshift
haven't-
at all.
you haven't seen
I know I haven't seen that, but I mean,
No.
Yeah, I don't think it's come up specifically.
I mean, he's generally stinky,
Okay,
so
P. You.
maybe he smells a little more. Yeah, exactly. Like
More
deer.
ripe.
Well, I'm all out of ideas.
I'm truly at a loss. We can go back, perhaps, into the library.
well, I asked the guards, and they are. You know how they're.
Yes, they were very shoeless indeed. Very.
undertone of the session right here. Rip Reginald for being poor.
Apparently.
I say we find him whenever we find him.
He probably just went back to the room. Mine as well.
You all go back to the room. I'm gonna go to the library.
I mean, I don't need rest.
Well, I'm okay for now. I'm more concerned about our friend. I'd rather be more safe than sorry. Maybe Maybe he turns out somewhere else in the library.
He has known him the longest. I'm inclined to believe him. So, if you want to go back to the hotel room.
I mean, I'll just go with you to the library. That's fine.
You find out more items, perhaps.
Start walking towards the library.
Yeah, I want to go back in.
I'm not done yet.
Alright, so
Library
as you
art
go back to the
18.
library, you two are heading back to the hotel?
No, we're all going back to the library.
Back into the library? Okay. So as you walk into the library, you're going to be greeted again by the person at the desk. Oh, you're back. Did you find your friend?
No, we're a bit concerned. We haven't found him in quite some time. Is there perhaps somewhere he could have been fallen off the beaten path? Perhaps.
I would assume not. There's... He did make a weird mention of a restricted area, which he might have tried to go there, but we're not supposed to talk about it. But if he went there, we would have been discovered by one of the others.
Yeah, I believe so.
I ask, is this the only exit out of the library?
Yes, but of course, we have to keep a catalog of all the books that come in and out. We can't just let people waltz out of here with vast collections of knowledge.
Can you show us this restricted area then, where he could potentially be?
No, I'm sorry.
Why not?
He was just asking about it.
We'll come back. We'll come back tomorrow. We got an hour. Tranquilo.
We're having a terrible time trying to locate him. And you're sure you haven't seen him leave? This is the only
I'm sure
exit.
he was the only befuddled and
Ill-dressed.
it's a word of putting it, yes, individual that I've seen in Noble District.
Only fighter you have.
He didn't seem like much of a fighter, but
Well, I mean, in the
that's neither here nor there.
Try.
We're literally just dragging Reginald through the fucking mud. Like,
Just like the automaton.
That's what I was going to say, just like the automaton.
I feel my soul being dragged right now instead.
Interesting.
Well,
So
you are passed out.
He said the automaton dragged him across the dirt.
Oh, that wasn't the character. That was me talking to him. So yeah.
No, but I think he's going a different way with that.
Would I have been able to see the tracks of him being dragged? You know, where teeth marks are chipping on the...
My cobblestones.
gems.
That's crazy.
Let's have you go ahead and roll survival.
Maybe. I mean, it's...
11.
Unfortunately, in your travels, you did not see that.
I look at Cassian and I look at Arthur. I say, well, I've just encountered a lot of information. He's not here. I don't even know the guy. I'm gonna go have a beer and some flagling chickens.
Very well.
What did you do? Walk off.
Well, so you're gonna head back to the hotel where they have all that stuff?
Yeah.
Alright, what else are you guys gonna be doing?
I'm gonna walk into the library.
Say, can you point me in the direction of where you dropped him off?
But of course, you watch this kind of leaves, a little projection pops up, he starts walking across the library. Yeah. As you end up heading back over to the hotel casino area, as you actually enter inside, you're gonna end up seeing that it looks like they're actually starting to prepare for some more nightlife. It looks like they have more bars that are in there actually playing tunes in different corners. And there's actually a bar area set across that ends up having two elves that are kind of manning it. And this bar ends up having a very, very beautiful backdrop across where all of these kind of bottles and kegs seem to exist in the back shelf. But that back wall has what looks like a piece of glass, almost some kind of obscuring everything. But behind it, it looks like it's almost like a three-dimensional room of just like little dangling and flying pieces of gold on the backside. It just kind of moves around, making like a visual interest for you as you're sitting there sipping on your beverage.
I think to myself, that's kind of peculiar. I try to get the barman's attention. Excuse me.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
Well, brethren, first and foremost, I would like one of your strongest beverages.
Strongest. Strongest in flavor, strongest in the liquors.
Yes.
Alright then. You watch he kind of goes over there and begins kind of pouring up with this very, very thick stout, it looks like.
While he's doing that, say, excuse me, barman, what is that back there? And I point to the three-dimensional piece of glass.
Oh, that over there. So this is one of the illusions created by... Do you know, you're familiar with here, are you one of the refugees or...
No, I'm a visitor.
Well, you watch he kind of slams this thing down in front of you. See, this casino itself was actually run by Uham the Bold before he took over Shadowstone. And that right there was one of his creations. He's quite the artist, isn't he?
Absolutely. When did he take over?
The city of Shadowstone. God's eyes, I think it was, but... It was before the colonization. He started ruling over Shadowstone maybe about 80, 90 years past. But, he relinquished control of this here casino within the last 15, 20 years. Sometimes it's been like that for the genie types.
Interesting, okay. I say cheers and I start to sip my beverage. Pondering to myself.
So what brings you to these parts? Anything in particular in mind? If you're not here with the refugees and you're just passing through.
I'm here seeking both knowledge and pleasure.
Well, I might say you came to an excellent place to do that here. What was your name then, sir?
D'Artagnan, and yours? And I reach out my hand to shake his.
Yes. Banthor. Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you also, Banthor.
Banthal.
Banthal.
Well, if you be needing anything else, I'll be around. Just shout.
Thank you. And I sit there and I kind of clasp my hands as I ponder the information of the day.
Yep. Alright, going over to you, Reginald. You're going to end up being completely just passed out. You're not really having any dreams or anything. You're just seeing black.
Back to you, Arthur.
Yeah, back to you. But as you end up like seeing black and everything, not sure how long you're in this state. But then all of a sudden, you're just going to end up... Roll a d20 for me.
13.
Okay. Roll another d20 for me.
18.
Okay. One more.
Okay. Cool. One of each. 8.
Alright. So, as you end up getting kind of in and out of this state where you're kind of trying to understand things, but you're not. You're trying to kind of push to get out of this darkness, but you can't. You just kind of keep pushing and pulling and pushing and pulling until eventually you end up you start hearing a seagull calling. As you end up kind of just putting your hands down the ground, as you're like basically just lying there naked. You pull your arms up and feel nothing but sand falling off. As you look around, you see that there's sand surrounding you. As you go a little more, you kind of move your hair up. More sand starts falling out of your hair, and you look up and you see where there are seagulls flying around, and you're staring at what looks like the ocean. No, it's like a river, but where there's seagulls. And you look down a little bit more, and while your eyes are starting to go in and out of vision, you see what looks like the Eye of Exra far off to your right.
Father Gods, where am I?
Relax, everything's fine.
What?
Stop.
What is this?
Stop, you're alive. It's fine. Spell, it's magic. Just relax. Oh, that was difficult.
Where are we?
We're not dead.
Well,
We're outside of the city.
Outside?
We're not in the cells anymore.
Well, yeah. How did you get us outside of the city?
Do you want the detailed version or do you want the short version?
So much going on right now. Oh. Okay. Yes, just the short.
The short version. I used a magical spell on you. It's called Feign Death. You were incapacitated. I ended up using a spell called Alter Self. Made myself look like one of the gods. I slipped out of the cell. I immediately called for the gods to help me unlock you and get you out. And I went to go dispose of you. I took your belongings and I handed them off to what would be your residence. Something like that. I don't know. The gods said they'd take them to your residence. They'd be passed on your next of kin, which I assured them that you had. So, good luck.
Okay.
I don't know what that means for you, but I think what it means for me is I did my job. And you're lucky that your friends didn't actually manage to get across that I knew magic. When the gods arrested me, it wasn't for magic, because I convinced them I couldn't. But they did find that I didn't have papers. So thank you for that. It's the only reason I didn't have magical handcuffs on me, else we would have both been fucked. So, how do you intend to pay me back for this great service that I did beforehand? I had to trust you before. And I did, and it worked until you fucked me over. Now, I'm doing this in my good graces. Here's what I recommend. I don't think you understand how much I've been studying the magic and the arcane. But it is quite a bit, and if you end up going out there and not paying me back, I will kill you.
Listen. It's a friend, but I feel like that's not
This is
what we
purely
are.
transactional.
Okay. You and I share things in many ways. More than you actually think.
Go on.
I have actually now witnessed your magic. And you and I share similarities in that way. For you see, my magic is very similar to yours. One of my goals is to venture into there, and I point to the Eye of Extra. I will be going there because there is something that I need from there. I'm doing it not for myself, but for someone else. So if there's something that you need from there, name it, and I will retrieve it, no matter the cost. This is a service you went out of your way, and I deeply appreciate it. Not the way I would have done it, but nonetheless still a way. And I'll have to try to come up with a story. But I want to look down actually and to see if that bracelet is still on me.
It's still on.
It's still on you. Okay, it's on me. So the guards think I'm dead. And now by what their records say, I'm a dead fighter.
Easy.
How are you, Dad? What are you talking about?
So if there's something that you are seeking from there, I will retrieve it with my life.
Roll performance with advantage.
It's a 12.
I'll expand your offer. You get me something. It's great power. And that staff that you had when I left and you sent me off to be imprisoned, I want that.
Staff.
Yes. It had a magical property to it. Since I'm starting from ground zero, While an item from the Ibex would be a great value, that staff would be excellent in starting me off right.
I'll have to find. I'll have to get back into the city again to retrieve it. I'll have to play as. Because well, since I'm dead now, since Reginald's dead, I'll have to play as his brother. I guess if there's even any record of that. Listen, the staff has great importance to me. It was given to me by a friend. Sentimental to me. Surely there's something else.
Roll persuasion.
Five.
5?
I'm not good at friend.
You're gonna have to give up something.
I'm already
Unless you have anything better than a staff, I think the staff will do.
You dare deprive an old man of his walking stick?
I already don't have shoes.
No shoes, Gandalf. Gandalf with the grippers out. That's crazy.
Listen, the staff is sentimental to me. I did have a magical item on my person previously. It may serve you use if you're ever to be locked up again, which sounds 2 for 2 now. That's recent.
Watch your tongue, but what is it that you have?
A small little trinkets that's with use can open a lid or a lock flawlessly.
You give me that and something from the Ibex Wrath, and you have a deal. And our debts will be even. Assuming you don't slight me again.
So the chime and just something from the Eye of X Wrath?
Yes. Like the chime. In 2 days' time. Yeah.
Here. Just want to look around a little bit.
Okay. It looks like if you're looking at the map of the city. So here's the city itself. Here's the Blighted District. You're like sitting on the shores over here. Outside the city limits.
Okay. 2 days' time. This time to be exact.
Probably looking
dusk.
about sundown.
Around dusk. Deal. I shall bring the chime. 2 days' time.
Well, she just kind of nods and starts walking away. And as you basically are naked, just wearing your loincloth,
afraid.
standing up there.
At least he's got a loincloth.
Yeah.
I thought he was just.
Hanging dong.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
How far is the city?
From where you are, it's probably going to be about like a hour's worth of a walk back to the city gates.
You can look in air, boy. Just fly back to your house and instantly get all your shit. Can you fly?
Actual druid.
Bro, these things are really tasty.
They're delicious.
Really, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're really good.
Why they go down easy as fuck too.
Bro, they do. It's scary actually.
Yeah.
Like while he's looking at that, I was like, what's the carb count on this? I just gotta know. Like it's gotta be high, right?
No, it's agua fresca.
Water in fruit juices.
It's like
Carbs
26.
26.4.
26. Okay.
26.4.
But I say like, dude, there's no way that this is like a Truly's kind of thing. It's like it tastes too good. Can't have like one carb. It's got more than it has to.
Bless you.
But
I'm gonna give it good.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make my way to the Valley District.
All right. So as he's walking back to the Valley District, let's go to you two. You're still walking around the library. What do you
we got directed to the area that he was.
Yep, and he would have kind of left you there.
So, if I remember correctly, he was kind of throwing books on the ground. Like when he was just going through like grabbing shit at one point, right? Like he was actually the books were falling on the ground. Can I see if there's a mess? Like I just want to look around. See
Yeah, you
like,
can look around. Roll an investigation.
Not trying to meta game, but like 16 plus 7.
Okay.
So 23.
Looks like everything you're kind of looking around is pretty well put together. Looks like either like all the books are just there and nobody's really checked anything out, or just everything's been kind of put back on the shelf.
Okay. You said something about a restricted area. I'm assuming the librarian's gone.
Yeah, librarian's gone.
Okay.
Already found that. I know he's not there.
I'm just gonna go into the assumption of the fact that I'm a wizard and I'm 350 years old. I'm very familiar with libraries.
You'd be familiar with Feywild libraries, but not stuff like this.
Do they have hidden rooms in the Feywild libraries?
No, because everything's just kind of known.
Okay.
You guys basically treat each other as like demigods, so nothing's really restricted. It's just like everything's open access.
Maybe try to find a book.
What-
How to Find Lost Friends.
So like, why would there be a restricted section? This doesn't make sense.
Well, you can't necessarily trust everyone near the knowledge of a tome that might be ancient and need to be preserved. I hope you know at least something about it.
I mean, preservation, but the sharing of knowledge should be everybody has access.
I agree wholeheartedly.
This is
However,
ridiculous.
It's quite an effort to be able to copy such knowledge that might be so ancient, so forbidden.
So what would this restricted section look like?
I'm gonna point up to the opening where there's a little balcony that I remember looking up down from.
You would barely be able to see it now that he points it out, but there is a tiny balcony. You see like what looks like an actual kind of like opening in the roof, where the roof just kind of like extends to this new ceiling. But you end up seeing what looks like this little area is just a little railing up there.
Where did I run into you originally? Like, did I meet you at the bottom of the staircase?
No.
Did we randomly
No,
meet
we
up in the middle
think
of
we
the
met like
library?
in the middle-ish.
middle
Okay,
library.
just making- well, let's go. Let's go check there.
I know he's not there. That's where I spent my time.
Are there other sorts of restricted areas?
That's more what I'm. There could be.
Can
I'm trying to
I
find
do an
one.
arcana check to see if there's any magical or like books that seem out of place?
That's not really Arcana. So
Or magical properties. Sure, let's
Okay.
go with magical properties.
so you just want to look for anything that kind of feels magic to you. Roll Arcana.
30-20.
Okay. So as you're looking around, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot that's really magic. The only thing that's really going to kind of strike you is what looks like these little flames that are sitting on the lanterns and everything are actually not even flames, they're just magic that illuminates the light of some kind.
There's no magical books around here.
As expected. Not everything can be as grandiose. But perhaps we can have a look around. Maybe there's something we're missing.
You know these libraries better than me, so I'm sure.
I certainly do. And I'm gonna start looking around some more.
Yeah.
Looking for I'm just on the look for another forbidden area.
I mean, I'm doing the same shit, so...
Go ahead and roll d20.
Both or one?
Just one. One of you guys. Just one of you guys
I'll
decide.
do the big one.
Ooh, biggins.
A 9.
Okay. As you're walking around, you're not really noticing anything that really stands out.
I'm gonna give it some time. I'm gonna really. At least 20 minutes. Way more than 5, but not like too much. You know.
Let's go to the Arcana. Okay, so you're sitting at the bar and going through your drink.
I'm kind of
Would it
pondering.
basically be at the bottom of your drink at this point?
Am I trying to get trashed tonight? Nah. I kind of pondered myself some of the information. You know. Okay, so there's a bunch of magical items at the Eye of Exrath. Maybe it's worth us going there. Maybe it's not worth us going there. Banthal.
Oh, yeah, sorry. What was that now?
Can I have another one, please?
But of course. Watch, she goes over there and begins pouring another one.
What's the deal with the Eye of Exrath, if you don't mind me asking?
The deal.
What's the deal with that?
It's the skinny.
It's just believed to be the source of magic for the entire region.
Do you think the illusion comes from that same source of magic?
Illusion? What exactly are you on about?
I point to the glass behind him. With the floating gold stuff.
Oh, that's Actually, that could be the case. That is complex magic to do something like this. It could be funneled by that and fueled. I've honestly never been asked that before.
I'd like to ask more about the casino owner.
The former owner, Uham the Bold, the overseer of the city.
What was his name?
Uham the Bold.
Uham the Bold?
Yep.
Uham the Bold. How did he become overseer?
Primarily self-appointed. He was quite a remarkable one when he ran the casino. And as the city expanded, more territory was found and needed to be ruled. So he stepped into the place. And then eventually, as the recolonization happened, we ran to the point where eventually the Lord ended up coming in and requesting that we start paying taxes. And Uham allowed this to happen with certain stipulations to avoid conflict. Uham the Bold himself has never been one for conflict. He likes to hear all sides, all stories, and come to his own conclusions. So that's what I've been told.
Interesting. I kind of start sipping on my second drink.
Okay. You want to ask anything else to the bartender? Or?
I don't even know what I would ask at this point.
How's the fucking weather?
Do you have chickens back there by chance?
No, we actually do. You want some just chicken wings, chicken breasts? What are you feeling?
2 whole chickens, please.
2 whole chickens. 2 whole chickens. Well, I'll tell you that. We can do this for absolute. You watch as he just kind of goes back in there, and it's going to be a couple minutes. He's going to end up pulling out what is like this giant silver tray that ends up having kind of golden embezzlement on the outside. It looks like actual like veins of, seems like tree trunks kind of going through it as he presents it in front of you with 2 chickens on it. 2 chickens.
Rub my hands together and dig right in.
Okay. It's like this is all going in the same tab then, I'm assuming.
Absolutely.
Alright. So we're gonna go to Reginald. After about an hour of travel, you'd be arriving at the end of the city. And it looks like, or the edge of the city, it looks like the sun's almost fully down at this point.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna still try to go to the Bio District and see if, well, this is what he said.
Win.
And told me that they probably might have left my stuff at my residence.
Hey, would they have taken his thing off? His bracelet?
No, the bracelet's still on, it looks
It's
like.
still on. Yeah, it's still on.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
They stripped everything except for that. They're like, nah.
He's dead.
Leave that shit
it's
on.
alright.
We don't have the fucking key. Whatever.
Pretty much. Well, yeah, I'm gonna see if they at least left stuff at my door or something. I at least want to get my stuff.
So
first.
as you start kind of walking through the city, So you start kind of like walking through the edge of the city. You're gonna have a lot of people just staring at you. It's like, what is it you're wearing?
Like what you see. Keep going.
You're just gonna watch as they start kind of cackling as they walk away. As you end up getting actually closer to the city gates, you begin kind of seeing the city. It looks like there's a lot of refugees just kind of standing outside, and they all just kind of turn. And one of the children just starts laughing. It looks like everyone else begins to turn around, and just starts kind of cackling as you're walking by, basically naked with barely loincloth laying there, just kind of covering everything.
This is a little embarrassing.
Great entrance. Quite. Great entrance. Good gravy.
Wages just went up for. Odds just went up for fucking 18-year-old.
Wait a minute. Okay. I'm just gonna look down at myself. I'm like, well, maybe this not might be the best thing to do to walk around town in. I'm just gonna try to go behind maybe a tree, a very thick tree, and just wild shape again.
Okay.
Wild shape into something not conspicuous.
Okay.
A
Like,
cat.
cat. Cool. Alright, you turn into a cat. You're able to walk your way through the city until eventually you get over to your house. You're gonna end up seeing what looks like your neighbor just kind of standing outside. It looks like he's trying to fix a couple of things and dump some water off, then begins walking back inside the house. It looks like you're arriving to the front door.
I want to inspect to see if anything's been like moved around. Maybe like if someone like has gone inside the house. Or
You can tell in the mud. It looks like there were recently footprints near the house.
I want to go to the side of the house and see if there'd be windows or would they just be open?
Just
Colors?
yeah, just wait. I guess sorry. What was that?
Like would they just be like glass panes, or would they just be open?
Open
windows?
doors. Yeah, open windows.
Open windows. Okay, I'm gonna try to jump through one of the windows.
Yeah, and you're able to do that. And as you end up doing that, you see what looks like just a bag of miscellaneous supplies and the staff sitting in there.
Okay, cool.
With your other miscellaneous belongings.
Right. Well, could have saved me the little humiliation there in the front, but less than so. There's a lot of refugees in there. They're flooding in more and more by the day. Need to tell everyone what I saw. Right. First things first. Clothes. I'm gonna start dressing and donning myself a little bit, and I just want to make sure to see if maybe like the papers were still there, if they left it on my belongings.
Yeah, it looks like your papers are still there for you and your wife. They're just kind of tucked away in your pocket.
Great. At least they have the decency of not shredding these up. I don't know if they'll know if I'm out here. Need to find a way. No. Best things to do is just go to the arena. They'll surely make their way there. Okay, I'm gonna start gathering my belongings and heading towards the entrance of the city.
Let's go to you two.
Any luck with the restricted area? Another one?
You go ahead and roll an RD20.
I would
Yeah,
love to.
I mean, big one.
Big
Yeah,
one.
okay.
Oh shit.
God dang!
Wow, that was a crazy wobble.
That wobble.
17.
You're not really finding anything.
What?
How long have you been searching at this point?
You were searching for quite a bit. About an hour, maybe an hour and a half.
Is it possible he left? At this point, he's not here.
Could have. He could have slipped away somehow. He's not here. That's for sure. That's definitely for certain. We would have found him by now if he was here.
Cuts to me drinking in a bar while you guys are looking at books.
I mean, we might as well go back at this point. He might be out of the room.
He could be. This could just be all for naught. Yes. Shall we?
I mean, are you any of y'all from here?
He is. He's
Should have gone home.
It still bothers me about him leaving your presence. Like, of course, we split up and went into different parts of the
Well, isn't
library.
his wife back in the room? Let's just go back to the room. That's where he'd probably go. He wouldn't leave his wife.
Hopefully, yeah. One would think. Yeah,
All
we're gonna head
about
back to
you.
the hotel.
So the two of you end up kind of heading out and begin walking through the
I got
streets. So you're
passionate.
eventually
It's up me.
kind of getting to what is very luckily
Thank
placed
you.
right next to this place. The hotel you're staying at. I'm gonna go to you, D'Artagnan. And you're kind of sitting there at the bar and just kind of finishing off a little bit more of your drink. The bartender's gonna end up walking up to you and saying, "Oh, I'm about to go off shift. We need to go ahead and close your tab out."
You know, Banthal. You've been a real good guy to me. Let's do that.
I'll think this to be the best. It will be 2 gold pieces, 2 silver pieces.
I give him 3 gold. Say keep the change.
Oh, thank you very much. Very generous of you.
Before you go, though, I know. I was talking about pleasure, and you know why I'm here. I'm here to watch guys kill each other. What time does the fight happen? When's the next gladiatory?
The next fight's in a day's time, tomorrow night. I did hear though that one of the fighters is dead. That's gonna change the odds quite a bit.
Who would that be? I may have placed a bet on him.
I think it was a fellow known as Reginald.
I immediately sober up.
He was arrested. He was arrested.
Did he die in police custody, or the guard's custody?
Well, technically speaking, I think he did actually. He ended up being really unlucky and passed away in his cell.
Motherfucker. How much time has passed since I've been at the bar, drinking and eating my chickens?
Probably like a 2 hour, maybe an hour and a half.
I say, well, time for bed. Thank you, Banthal. I'm gonna catch him on the flip side. I start to go back to the room.
Okay. As you start kind of like walking out, you're gonna end up running into what looks like Arthur and Cassian.
Oh my!
Did you find the poor dead boy?
Huh? No, we didn't
What?
find it. What?
Don't tell me for the last 2 hours you guys have just been in the library looking around for...
That is precisely what we were doing. And we see what you've been up to. So you haven't seen him either?
I say, well, you guys may want to sit for this one. And I immediately just grab onto whatever I can hold. Well, good news. He doesn't have to fight in the gladiatorial thing tomorrow. Bad news is he's dead.
What?
What on earth are they serving here?
You're drunk. Go, just go to sleep.
I may be a little bit drunk, but
What does his eyes look like at this point?
They look a little bit. They look pretty lit.
that,
Really
I
lit.
mean, like, because they
He's got
were
the
like,
1,000-year
they're like
stare.
white eyes originally, like so they're like.
His eyes look even more like kind of like loopy and droopy.
I may be drunk, but the barman just told me a gladiator died. I asked him who. He said Reginald.
Died? Just dead? Anything?
He died in police custody.
How was he arrested? What?
Probably
Where
from
could he
walking
have
around
gone?
shoeless.
What could he have... Okay!
So the guards were useless. Fucking.
So they, I mean, okay, well, chances are, okay, so he was somehow off on his own. He didn't have his, well, they noticed his papers. And they were like, oh, well, you're poor, so they just bagged him. And... No,
He's a fighter. Why would they kill
can't
him?
be.
Somebody should tell his wife.
I don't even know. Well, his wife's definitely not coming back now.
Does his wife just die?
Isn't she in the hotel room?
I mean, she's just a tormented soul trapped within that infernal-looking cage thing. Quite awful wave. Being stored in the afterlife. Being stuck. This is... We have to confirm this, at least. We owe that. You were his sponsor. One might word it.
Who's his sponsor? I just told you I heard the fuck up.
He literally just dragged him to the checkpoint.
I literally said, get papers for him.
Diamond pass.
And I said, come on, get the fuck on. He's the fighter. Shut the fuck up. We're leaving.
Well,
And he never got it.
we're gonna get Cynthia. And if this is true, we're gonna talk to her, and then we're gonna see if we can... We're all going to go speak with the Scale Legionnaires. Find out any validity to this.
When people die, what happens to their stuff?
They probably, at least...
Probably,
They defecate themselves,
this is-
typically.
Oh, okay.
it's true. It's police custody. He's in. The guards probably have it.
I don't know, would they get... Oh god, what would they do with him? He's dead.
What is the burial ritual for like Fays?
Do they
Is it
throw him
like-
out by the plane cart?
Is it like a elf thing where you shoot him with an
Yeah,
arrow and
yeah.
fly him, and then just or Viking shit, like or what? Or they just or does that not exist?
We'll skip we'll skip that for now. Okay, I don't think it's gonna be too relevant, but
Okay. Fine.
I'm gonna piss on him. That'll do.
Well, you guys, I'm in no condition to go spelunking
Well, no.
for
shit.
poor Reginald's body. I'm gonna go back to the room.
As long as it's not spadoofing. Whatever they call it nowadays.
so as he ends up saying that, you're gonna end up hearing is what sounds like somebody kind of walking by and just kind of laughing, talking to somebody else. They're saying, "Yeah, I couldn't believe it when I went through the city. It was some guy wearing weird jewelry and he was naked and just wandered through the streets." Could you believe the kind of people who do that?
Wearing jewelry but naked in the streets.
This place is bizarre.
I mean, there's a lot of refugees here.
I think they could...
They do
that
not
could
belong.
just be a blighted district
They're
thing.
just-
Honestly, I mean...
minimal.
Sorry, I didn't sound out of touch. Anyway, to the room. We'll get Cynthia up to speed, and maybe she'll have more insight or have heard something else. Hopefully she's there. If she's not, she'll around.
All right, and you guys head up to the room. And as you guys head up there, we're gonna go ahead and stop the session. So, very
God
cool session.
damn,
Oh my
dog! No shot.
Well, this has been one of my favorite sessions so far. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Holy.
High risk, high reward.
Oh man, that was a crazy fucking
Yeah.
session. That was crazy.
Wild.
But anyways, thank you all so much for joining us here at Millennial Tavern. We'll be back again here next week on Tuesday, and be looking out for this on YouTube here this Friday. So, of course, as always, but we will be missing out on Dave here next week. But we will have, of course, D'Artagnan, Reginald, and Arthur back at it again, playing some more D&D. Anything y'all want to shout out?
Thanks for
Hope
saying
y'all
bye,
had a
guys.
great
Later.
weekend.
Hell yeah. And hope everyone has a better coming up weekend. So, later, y'all.
Bye.
Bye bye. Oh boy.